Hello, burnouts. Yes, you. I'm going through it the same as you right now. I suppose I won't truly understand how you feel, but here's a question. Why do we make art in the first place? People make art for many different reasons. Personally, for me, I started making art since I was a literal child. Growing up, my art goals have probably changed a ton, where I just sort of lost the original meaning of making art. The more I grow, the more confused I get, and it always tends to lead back to the inevitable burnout. So why do we even bother making art? In art college, ironically, I had a massive burnout from my assignments. Amidst my burnout from my assignments, I started a webcomic for fun called Slice of Roommates. Posted it on webtoon, didn't expect much, but somehow it started gaining attraction, it started gaining readership. And I would receive these nice comments, positive comments about how I was doing a good job, how, they can't wait to read more. And truly then, that was my first taste of popularity. Eventually, the comic had to end. And over the course of 5 years of me working on and off on this comic, I wouldn't be surprised if the readership dropped. This comic project helped me realize one thing. Fame, popularity is all temporary. It kind of feels like it has a time limit. And I had to constantly remind myself not to associate my artistic worth, my self-worth, with the validation of likes and views. With popularity comes a sense of wanting to brag about it. After I received a bunch of views on my comics, I started telling my friends and families about it. They always come back to me with the same question, never failing with pure Asian energy. They would ask, "So, how much money do you make from it?" Me realizing I don't actually make anything from it, I started questioning my self-worth again. I had a long period of time where I stuck my self-worth and my income together, and it was terrible. I always wanted to have a career in art or comics, right? But my income definitely made me question my career choice, okay? Can you really call it a career if you can't even make a decent living? I would try my best to make some sort of income from my career doing other side gigs. But with comics, it's always just been YouTube, Patreon, and donos. And shout out, by the way, to my YouTube members and my Patreons. You guys really get me going. I appreciate your support as usual. And if you are a YouTube member or a Patreon member, you get to watch my videos ad-free, early access, and also exclusive videos that have been privated. Anyway, despite all of that, they don't last in the long term. There will be months when I wasn't making any sort of income, and I thought about going back to a full-time 9-to-5 job. I had to come to terms with two things. One is that I don't like to take money from my readers, and the second is that this is truly not a stable career. Arguably, this is why people make comics. Passion. Passion flourished my patience to learn art, and also just fueling me to get good at art. But passion can only take you so far, especially for some of us, when our only main hobby becomes a career. Losing that hobby to money and fame can be very disheartening. There are days when I couldn't pick up the pencil. I would ask myself, but you love art, so why can't you draw anymore? It's always been a childhood dream of mine to get to where I am today. Probably a dream for a lot of people out there as well. But even guilt couldn't get me to draw. And I just lost all sort of passion to even start again. especially when you know deep down you're making art for other people rather than yourself. So, why did I even bother making art in the first place, am I right? After seeing myself go through the same cycle over and over again, recently I came to my final conclusion. I guess at the end of the day, I just really wanted friends. I wanted like-minded artist friends where we can all just gush about art and comics. You know, I wanted to belong to a community where we can all say, we are webcomic creators, instead of saying, I am a webcomic creator. Working on comics for so many years, there are days when it's, you know, super lonely because I wouldn't leave the house. All I would do was just draw all day at home. So I would start live streaming, and with live streaming, it helped with the loneliness a lot, especially when it's just like clocking in a few hours a week, talking to other creators who are doing the same thing as me, making comics. And it's always nice to just talk to someone about the process, you know? I still live stream every Wednesday about this time. So yeah, feel free to come by and say hi if you would like to work on comics together. Eventually, I also started a Discord for other webcomic creators, but the Discord kind of grew where it started hosting all kinds of other artists, 3D animators, you know, pixel artists, you name it. We are always happy to have new artists coming in, so if you're interested to join us, feel free to click the link in the description to get an invite. Recently, we also hosted our second annual one-shot comic jam. You can watch the full live stream where I do the read-through and announce the winner here. You may have been too late to join this year, but you can always join the Discord and prep for the next year. It took me years to reach to my conclusion. Our priorities are different at the end of the day on why we make art, but I hope my video helped you in some way if you are now experiencing a burnout or just having an existential crisis and whatnot. Just remember, you are not alone in all of this. A lot of people go through it as well. But during these times, it's always good to just talk about it or just relate to someone about it. And yeah, I think it's important to also remind yourself why you start anything in the first place. But yeah, that's about it for my video. If you would like to support my channel, support me as a creator, feel free to check out my book, my comic book called Dear Alice. It is available on Amazon. The genre is slice of life and drama. It's about just two pen pal friends writing letters to each other about their lives and mildly sort of inspired by Alice in Wonderland. So if you like black and white comic book art, or if you know a friend that's interested, feel free to check out the link below. Till then, I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.